Now let's use the simple example that calculates the expected value to elaborate on the basic principle of R programming. Well, actually, we only need to learn a few principles before we start doing programming. The very first principle is every piece of data is an object. It looks simple, but it is not easy at all. It is easy to understand that every object has a name and have its value. The complexity comes from the fact that every data object has a type and has a structure. We have different data types such as numeric data, logical, categorical factor, character string, day and times, and we have different types of structure like vector, matrix, data frame, list, and so on. In our previous example, the data objects payoff and plop, they are numeric vectors, which means their data type are numerics and their data structure are vectors. For new programmer, the difficulty usually comes from the fact that there are so many types of data, so many different kinds of data structure, and they need to be calculated in different ways. Therefore, the major purpose of our first week's homework assignment is to get you familiar with this data type and data structure. The second principle in R programming is about object names. As I say, if we simply put in an expression, R will evaluate the expression, the result will be printed out in the console, and then the result is lost. So if we want to keep the result of the expression, we will have to put it on the right-hand side of an equal sign. In this way, we can keep the result in this object name. In R, the object name can be reused. And of course, if you reuse the name, the existing content that's stored in the name is lost. The third principle of R is expression. And expression is actually the basic building block of programming, right? And the expression, they are composed of objects, data objects, right? Mathematical operators, and also functions. As we can see here, plot and payoff, they are data objects. And the parentheses and the star, they are mathematical operator. And this sum is what we call functions. There are various functions in R, predefined in R. For example, if for some reason we want to have the square root of probability, we can do this. And these elements of expression, I mean this data object, operator, and function name, they can be combined in every possible way. For example, we can like add 10 into the square root and then sum them up, and then maybe you want to also do a log. So it is so flexible that literally everything that you can specify, you can express them in an R expression. Therefore, in R, we can define objects by expression, and that new object can be used in another expression to define yet another object. So what we mean by programming is actually a process that defines new object or update existing objects with expressions. So these simple principles, together with the data types and data structure that you will learn in your homework assignment, should be good enough for you to get started with R programming. And that is what we want to do in our second week.